Angela, good afternoon to you. I guess morning is over there, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
So,
11 o'clock morning. Good afternoon. How
yes.
are you?
How's it going, Angela? Everything good?
Good. Yeah, good. Had a good morning. Went for a nice dog walk and did some rowing.
Nice, great. Sounds good.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah. So good active morning. It's
Mhm.
nice weather here at the moment.
Wow, yeah, I can see that. A
Yeah,
lot of sunshine,
yeah,
sunshine.
yeah. It's good. It's good.
Nice,
What
great.
about you?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying. Like, I took some pending classes, so I was occupied with that. But then I
Yeah,
was raring to have this interview with you.
yeah.
It was,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Yeah, me too. Looking forward to it.
And I would love to introduce Angela to my audience. She's a disability advisor, executive function coach, ESA needs assessor, and she has been doing this work for more than 2 decades. That means more than 20 years in the field of disability. Right, Angela?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. I'm feeling quite old just now.
Yeah, and you are providing life coaching, training, diversity and inclusion. Yeah, like you
Yeah.
have your hands in multiple pies, I would say that.
I do. I'm kept very busy.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
so yeah, let's cut to the chase. And Angela, like
Hmm.
20 years in disability service,
Yeah.
can we normalize disability?
So, yeah. So to me, disability is part of life, because people have disabilities and everyone I see at my work has some sort of disability. So to me, disability is an everyday thing, and um, we all should accept that as such, because you can not be disabled one day and become disabled the next day. You have to think of it like it's a human condition. So, but I think probably there could be more done to be more kind of to assist people. So, for example, expect people with disabilities, not just react to somebody coming. So,
Hmm.
anticipatory duty, so anticipate all people to come using wheelchairs, having, mobility difficulties, blind, whatever their disability. So anticipate everybody and make the environment accordingly.
Hmm.
That's what we try to do. It's quite difficult though, because at the university, for example, huge efforts are made and, a lot of money is spent. But because the campus is there since 1400 and something, it's hundreds of years old. Some of the buildings are really old and they don't, um, because they're protected, sometimes we have to really try, think outside the box, and go, well, how are we going to make this building accessible? But, they do their absolute best. We have a huge team working on that.
The work
Yeah.
that you do is really commendable. And
Yeah.
that's what my question is. What inspired you to start this noble journey of helping disabled people?
Yeah. So, I first of all was a teacher.
Yeah,
So
or
that's
that
how I start.
English
Yeah.
teacher.
Yeah. So I started up my career as an English teacher. And that's why, I said to you before that I was really wanting to speak to you because you're the same and to talk to your students and everything. And I saw a lot of the kids had sort of learning differences and things like that. And I wanted to get into that area a bit more closely. I also worked in the summertime as a TEFL, so teaching English as a foreign language. I taught there for 7 years during the summer. So I taught Spanish and Italian and Japanese and Chinese students and every student from all over the world. Very good fun. But yeah, so I saw a lot of access issues, for students in school. So that kind of led me into doing some courses in special education and things like that, and eventually got my job in the disability service in Galway, where I'm from. And then I moved to Edinburgh, and so I've been working between the two places
Hmm.
there. Yeah. So it's just, I mean, I suppose what inspired me was I had my own difficulties at school, learning difficulties, because I was really bad at maths
Yeah.
and I have a really bad, really bad working memory. So I have to write everything down in three or four different places to remember things, like you said before. So I thought, okay, so I've learned quite a lot of stuff of how to support myself. So
Hmm.
why not do that with other people? So that's why I do the coaching as well as the working in the disability service.
Wow.
So yeah.
Oh, nice. And
Yeah.
what are the pros and cons of it, Angela, of your work?
Um, I mean, I wouldn't say, well, the cons of it is that it is, I guess, really, really busy. There's no downtime. There's a constant stream of work coming, and it's sometimes hard to get enough rest. But I mean, other than that, honestly, um, I don't see any downsides to it because, the feedback that we get in our department is amazing from the
Hmm.
students. We have we do survey every year and the feedback is amazing. It's very positive and the students really appreciate all of the things that we do to help them to do their studies. And, so it's working. But cons wise, I think it's the relentless nature of work. But actually, most work is like that anyway.
Yeah,
And
true.
I'm actually happy with that myself.
And I guess in today's scenario, like we all feel, we bite off more than we can chew. I feel like that. Yeah.
We do, we do. I do anyway. I'm very guilty of that. And sometimes, but I'm actually getting better at saying no to things as well, So it
And
has taken me a long time.
Angela, if you had like, I know that you don't have the downtime, but if you had the downtime, what kind of activities would you like to do?
So, well, I suppose when I do have time off, I spend my time walking.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, I do walking and lots of walking. I have two dogs and they're very energetic. And they're Hungarian Vizslas. They're hunting dogs.
Oh,
So
okay.
they need to walk at least 2 hours a day. They're a red color. I don't know if you've ever seen one. So yeah, they're really energetic and we go on the mountains in Scotland. We've done a lot of I don't know if you've ever heard of the Munros. They're a group of mountains in Scotland
Mm-hmm.
and there's 283 or something of them and I've climbed 50 and my husband has done 60, so we're
Wow.
trying to do. I don't think we'll do them all because some of them are quite scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my pastime.
Yeah.
So yeah, walking, that's what I do all the time. It's great for your mental health.
Definitely. Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, yeah,
Nice.
yeah, absolutely, really good.
And coming back to specially able people, like what
Mm.
sort of challenges are faced by them?
So it depends really on what their situation is. So, for example, for a student who is a wheelchair user, so they have mobility um, difficulties. So it's the environment. The environment is not always welcoming, because Edinburgh, as you know, is an old city. It's covered in cobblestones and hills and steps and so it's mostly about getting around. It can be quite difficult. But then on the other hand, cognitively, the problems are not there. They don't have any challenges really much, with the course or anything like that. So it's all environmental for people with mobility challenges because, most places, well, a lot of places don't always think about how will a person that's using a wheelchair get in here, how are the bathrooms, all of this type of thing. So, it's and then people try to retrofit, fit things after the the fact, and that's difficult and expensive. But if you do it at the time, it can be really, if you do it when you're building it. But because the buildings in Edinburgh are so old, it can be challenging. So most of our students would struggle with environmental things. So, for example, we would ask for their lectures to be on the ground floor or to be lift accessible or whatever. And then I guess with mental health challenges, you'd probably have, ups and downs, and sometimes not feeling able to go to your classes. And,
Mm.
so we put in place, adjustments so that students could be allowed to take time off and things like that. Um, and then for learning differences, we'll say ADHD and, dyslexia, or then autism as well. It's more about engaging with society, kind of with social aspects of being at university, and also sometimes, the timings, the timetable, the deadlines, all of that kind of thing is difficult. So it really depends on what the person, what condition the person is facing. So
Yeah.
the challenges depend on that. So there's a huge range.
Mm.
And then of course we have students that have more than one condition.
Yeah.
So they're facing more challenges and barriers than others. But they do their best and we do our best to help them. So, you know,
Definitely.
that's where we're at.
And Angela, as you are a person who burns candle at both ends, so I would love to know, like,
Mm.
how do you balance work-life balance? Is it possible for you to do that?
Yeah. So something that I do a lot of is time blocking. Okay. And I'll say to myself, okay, so this morning I'm doing seeing you, talking to you, and then, but once this is over, the entire day is off, and
Mm.
I have scratched everything out of the diary so that I'm not thinking about things.
Yeah.
I've given myself permission mentally to
Mm.
say, this is finished now. We're done. I'm going for lunch, my friend. I'm going to do this, and that. So, it's all about being boundaried and
True.
saying, you know, so I use a big diary, like
Mm.
an actual paper diary, really old fashioned.
Yeah.
But I suppose, it really depends. I think generationally, the diary is suitable for me because I'm 55. So, a paper diary is what I'm comfortable with, because it's what I used all through my life. If you're a Google diary person,
Yeah.
great. I'm not going to push anything on anyone, but I always know, I turn the page and I know what I have the following day.
Mm.
And I know when I can take time out. But
Def-
if I'm taking time out, if somebody says to me, do you want to do something else? I'm going to say no.
mm.
Because mentally, I need to switch off and say, I'm not. Because I work during the day, I work in the evening sometimes, I work on the weekends. So you have to give yourself a bit of space as well.
Definitely. Couldn't agree more.
And just cut, just say, I'm giving myself permission to switch off now.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, that's a
Because
good.
otherwise you just burn out, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And
So,
I'm also kind of
mm,
an old school when it comes to writing. Like
are
I
you?
writing diary journal
Yeah.
since 2018. but not in terms of
Okay.
this time schedule, in terms of
Yeah.
the things that I do throughout the day. So that kind of thing.
That's good. Yeah, and it's good to journal. It's good because you can self-reflection is really important.
Yeah.
How did I feel today? What made me feel like that? And that sort of thing. Noticing patterns
Mhm.
that you can then avoid later if you
Definitely.
don't want to be, or you can go towards if it made you feel happy or whatever.
Yeah, and speaking of happy, if it makes you feel any happier, I would say that this part is the happiest moment of my life when I do podcasts with intriguing people like you. So
Thanks.
yeah, whenever I do this kind of thing, it makes me feel the happiest. So
Good. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, yeah. And you enjoy it and your students get to hear different voices from around the world. You know, they might not have had an Irish person talking to them before.
definitely, yeah.
So who knows?
And
Mm.
even at the age of 55, you are relentless, you are working way hard. So, what's your driving force, Angela?
Um, Good question. I think I'm passionate about what I do. I really enjoy what I do. I want to make life better for other people and myself, if you know what I mean. Because I think one of the main purposes of us is to support other people. So, if you can do a job that does that in some way, that's great. So, no, genuinely, like I don't work until 9 o'clock at night for money. I work until 9 o'clock at night for someone to say to me, I was able to do that thing that I wasn't able to do before.
Hmm.
Now, because money is not everything.
Yeah, definitely.
It's only part of the picture,
Hmm. True.
a small part.
Yeah. And I guess there is a quote that might suits you as well. That
Yeah.
when you do what you love, you don't have to take a vacation from it. So I guess you
Yes,
do what you love.
exactly. And I think that's why I'm able to do so much of it
Mm.
and not feel tired or I mean, I do get tired, obviously,
Yeah, definitely.
but not kind of sick of it,
Mm.
burnt out and just wanting to get away.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And well, when it comes to specially able people, Angela, coming back to your work of yours, I often see like in India, like if a person is, if that kind of person goes through, or like if he's going anywhere, people will stare at him or her. They look at them with the feeling of feeling sorry for them. They feel
All
sorry for.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so in my experience, most people with disabilities don't feel sorry for themselves. So, so why would you? Just be compassionate, obviously, towards everybody, except including yourself. But I don't think anyone wants sympathy. They
Mm.
definitely don't, some of the most, you know, severely disabled students that I work with, that's self-pity is not in their head. They're just wanting to live their best life. And they're just getting on with their day. And actually, if you kind of look at someone like that, they feel bad then because they remember, oh, I'm different. So I think really just go about your day and be compassionate to everyone and don't, you know, just be aware that that person is just living their life and they don't feel bad about themselves,
Mind your
probably.
own business, I guess. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's one way of putting it. Yeah.
And as you talked about, like there are a lot of people dealing with autism. So, can you share some like awareness about that?
Some what, sorry?
awareness about autistic people and how other people can deal with autistic people. Some awareness about autism.
Yeah, so again, it really depends on the where on the spectrum the person is. So you have uh, the students that I work with and the people that I work with in coaching are people with autism who are functioning completely, cognitively really good, really well. They're functioning really well. But there's some challenges within that. So, and then sometimes there are people with more severe autism and that need care and things like that. So, um, I suppose again, you know, when you meet somebody and you think, there's something a little bit there, something a little bit socially awkward, maybe, or they're a little bit shy or quiet, whatever. I think just accept that that's the case and to not force them into a situation where a lot of autistic people don't like chit chat, small talk and hey, how's the weather? They a lot of time now, I don't want to generalize either because I've
Mm,
had lots of conversations with people about the weather, but it's very hard to it's very hard to give awareness in a situation like this because the situations are so different.
true.
But all I would say is that just take people as they are,
Mm,
and that's if you do that, then and you just accept the way people are, then there is no problem. Does that make any sense?
mm,
I meet a lot of students, and they're all so different. And no matter who comes in, I just go, well, that's the way they are. If they're doing, stimming or, they need to do some body movement to make them feel comfortable, that's stimming and,
okay.
or they have vocal tics or they have ways of, some people don't like speaking at all.
Mm,
And then you have to find a way of communicating that's comfortable for
right.
them. So whether it's writing or whether it's they have somebody else they want to bring somebody with them. Um, but I think general acceptance of whatever person you meet is just the key. And then you can't go wrong. Does that answer your
Yeah,
question?
yeah, definitely it does. And
Yeah.
before we call it a day, Angela, I would,
Yeah.
some life advices as you've seen life from you've done a lot of work and the youngsters who are watching this podcast. What sort of life advice would you like to give to them? The do's and don'ts. If
Wow. Do's and don'ts. How long have you got? Okay, do's and don'ts. I would say live your life, not somebody else's. So I see a lot of people living other people's dreams and, coming to do courses that maybe they're doing because somebody else suggested it or their family has always been a
Mm,
doctor or a lawyer or whatever.
yeah.
So to live your life, I mean, if possible, I know everywhere is different, but if you can, because if you live somebody else's life and dream, you'll never really feel happy.
Mm,
And I suppose it's a do and a don't in one sentence.
yeah.
And a do again is to take time out, not to be running yourself into the ground all the time. If you feel overwhelmed, rest. And I'm not talking about sleep, just rest, go with your friends, go for a walk, go because it's so important to get outside and to have social times and not to be always working.
Mm,
Even though I do work hard, but I also have plenty of time that I take to myself. That's really important, and it makes you able to do more work and
Definitely.
better
Yeah.
work, and better work.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that, I mean, look, I could be here all day giving do's and don'ts for life, but I think you probably don't want to be sitting here all day.
No, it's really fascinating. I can talk to you till the cows come home because the vibes
Yeah,
are
yeah,
really good. It's
yeah,
calm, serene. Yeah, I'm enjoying this
yeah,
one. And I would
yeah.
love to
Good, good.
appreciate your time that you took out some time for this podcast. And
You're welcome. It was good talking to you.
next time when we meet, I guess your son will be there. So three of us will
Yeah, yeah, we'll have a chat. Yeah, we'll organize something with him. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I think you'd like him.
definitely. And also
Yeah.
the experience of yours when it comes to teaching English for more than 9 years, that's part is still pending, but we're gonna cover,
Yes.
yeah, we're gonna cover that
Yeah.
next time.
We'll
But
talk about that another time.
definitely for today, thanks a lot, thanks a million, and have a great day, Angela.
Yeah, you too, Janelle. Take care. Bye. Bye.